Hi guys, welcome to episode 29 of the MMA Wales podcast with me, Ricky Wright, as always, James Wallace, and we have the undefeated star of Brave FC, the Mirth and Mouth, Aidan James.
The Mirth and Mouth.
I'm obsessed sticking, and of course, friend of the podcast, Brett the Pikey Johns. So welcome to the show again, guys.
I do it every time. I stick my...
His introduction's getting like that every time. Brett Johns.
Yeah. it started off really good.
Yeah, it was like the UFC fight.
Eventually it'll be like...
we also have Brett Johns.
Yeah. Eventually be, hi, I'm Ricky, I'm James, this is Aidan, and then it's him.
So guys, it's been a big, massive weekend for Welsh sport. We are now Grand Slam champions again, champions of Europe in the rugby. Yes. Just beat Trinidad and Tobago in the football.
Did we?
Brett was there.
I was there.
Was it?
I was.
In Stone Island.
In my Stone Island jacket.
Kicking off.
Well, I went a five-a-side. I played five-a-side, came home, and it was 0-0, and there was about 10 minutes left. I put my bucket hat on, and my girlfriend bought me for Christmas, and then we scored, so...
There you go. You're the reason why we won then.
Yeah, I am the reason why we won. And then, of course, what else happened this weekend? The Battle of Wales, the first time ever two Welsh guys fought each other in the UFC. John Phillips and Jack Marshman went toe-to-toe when Jack won a split decision. You watch the fight, guys?
I did watch it, yeah. I think, to be honest, the only fight, twice, the only fight I wanted to watch was that one. That one and Nathaniel Wood I wanted to watch, and that was it then. But yeah, it was a good fight, really good, technical. I think everybody was trying to tune in to see a slugfest, but they're at that level in the UFC now where it's a lot more technical, and it was a good technical stand-up fight, I thought.
People expect Jack to fight the same way he fights in other fights.
Yeah, he actually said that though. Jack said, "I'm not fighting John."
Yeah,
like that.
Who's gonna?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody.
Guy can hit you the guy can hit you in the elbow, knock you out. Do you know? Yeah. Why do you want any of that? Like, you know?
Yeah, it's very hard. So you're not going to stand toe-to-toe with him. So I say Jack got on the bike, didn't
he? Yeah.
And moved. You know? I mean, like
that's how John caught him. See, that first punch.
Yeah.
You went body. I watched it again yesterday, and he went body. And as Jack, because he obviously went body, Jack's hands dipped in his circle. He caught him literally just on the.
Caught him on the move.
All fairness to Jack, he did move the right way. But it was like, obviously you don't want to go...
The cage behind you as well. So
he doesn't want to go left side because that's John's southpaw shot. But then again, you don't want to... You right? You just hit your nose in the chair, do you? You don't want to go left side because obviously he doesn't want to get caught there. She's gone there, but John's come across with that right hook off a southpaw stance and it's caught him either off balance or not off balance, but he still went down. I think
it was a good shot because I think John's got power anyway. I think it stunned him at the right point. You see Jack look and go, but he got back up.
But then when you saw him get hit, you could see that it wasn't like, obviously Jack has lost before by stoppages. But you could see he was there. You would see his hands on the floor. He was ready.
It was like a flash, wasn't it? Yeah. When you're fit, you can recover quick sometimes. And to be fair, he was fit.
Yeah. I think he's in the army. He's up the army. So he just running and just.
Yeah, but the thing is with that as well is when you're moving all the time, sometimes you're a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
You feel
that adds to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like if you standing, I don't know, you probably would have gone down. But like sometimes when you're on the move, it adds to the going down. But when you're standing still, it does.
Going on that same point though, the aftermath of the knockdown. That's what a lot of people were talking about.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean now. Yeah. Basically, a lot of people were saying, "Why didn't you jump on Jack to John?"
But that's perfect. Like if you look at,
I thought exactly the same. Jack's got a hell of an underrated ground game.
Yeah. I mean, he's got subs from the back.
Not only that as well. He subbed Bolo Mieli, who's a strong wrestler. It was a very good fight. A strong wrestler on top position, subbing from inside guard.
Yeah.
So like John had to do it his own little way, you know.
Marshman won the Shock and All title years ago with an armbar, beating Mike Ling.
All the Arab City boys are known for being awkward off the back.
Didn't he beat them? Is it Andrew Punchton or something or Pushton? Up north.
I can't remember that fight.
Didn't he beat them? But I'm sure he beat them from inside guard.
The thing is, as well, I don't know. John has done that a few times.
Yeah.
And called people up, and got a lot of fans from it.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the UFC, it's different. But when you're not in the UFC and you're in a crowd and there's a lot of people there, you can't appreciate the fight on the floor as much. Yeah. But I remember him calling people up. the crowd were loving it.
Yeah.
Which you can understand. It's fun, isn't it? And they did scream for it. But like the question, like, you know, we've seen him give a punch face again. Do you know what I mean? That's what people like.
This Crow Cop used to do it back in the Pride days. Used to call people out, and people used to go nuts for it.
I was going to say, John did the same thing with Czech Corn and knocked him out and won the BAMMA World title. He did the exact same thing.
Yeah. And then people were questioning it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he won.
It was back then, and he did the perfect thing.
Exactly.
He did the perfect thing.
What do you guys think of the decision and the scoring?
It was close. It was very close.
I watched it twice now. I have to watch it, maybe watch it again. I thought John won when I watched it the first time, and then I watched it again. I still think it was fucking close. It was super close. Like they both land shot. It's just weird. It's just a weird fight. Like I wouldn't like to judge that. I just enjoyed watching. It's a fight I enjoyed watching.
There's only one questionable round. Round 1 was John's.
Yeah.
No, it was clearly John's.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
100%.
It's not a 10-8.
It's not a 10-8 round.
10-8.
Someone said, "Oh, it was a 10-8 round," and like, "Oh, calm down."
A lot of people don't.
I would have said it was I could have said it was a draw.
Yeah, the second round then was Jack's.
I said it was Jack's as well.
Because John didn't do enough work,
Jack
and he says
beautifully in it. Like when I could hear when they had the corner cam on and they had Shaky's voice talking, and Shaky was like, "Yeah, you're gonna outbox him this round," and I'm like, "Oh, it's the first time in the history of John Phillips' career someone's saying the standard John Phillips." Yeah. And I'm thinking,
and he was telling him to go for the head kick.
And I was like,
he did mention
for head kick, but you knock him out, honest to God. And I like, you know,
I was like, go for it.
Variety, it's just but
he landed some nice body kicks as well.
He did, and he mixed it up, and he have to for the range to keep going away.
Yeah.
And that's what kicks are good for sometimes, is keeping that distance away. And John doesn't move from his guard; he doesn't block kicks that way, so he keeps his hands up. Which is fine, but as I say, you're not at risk then of being put on your back and punched in the face.
Yeah. You're the same as me. You questioned the third round, didn't you?
I questioned the third round.
Yeah.
It's about the third round. It's all about the third round.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it is. Right, so the old scoring of MMA, not so long ago, I think John would have definitely won.
Yeah.
The new rules,
the new scoring criteria
is different.
Yeah, it is different.
The scoring criteria, if the fight is on his feet, it's basically scored as a kickboxing fight. Yeah. So basically, whoever, it doesn't matter whether you're going forward or back, it's whoever's landing the most strikes.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, obviously, if you're landing power strikes, they're better than non-power strikes.
Yeah.
But it's only then the pressure which John provides, which that pressure in the old scoring system they love, right?
Yeah.
But now that pressure, that pushing people back, is only going to score for you if the strikes are too close.
Yeah.
So if because there was no ground game, there was no ground game,
yeah.
And unfortunately, like I don't know if there's any takedown defence in the third round. I don't know if Jack shot the first, but takedown defence doesn't score either.
No.
The defensive ending doesn't score.
No.
You only score a takedown. If you shoot a takedown, you only score if you really smash them into the floor.
Yeah, like if they get straight back up, it's not. Yeah.
Or if you really bang and you can see the urge from it. That sort of takedown.
Yeah.
Or as I say, if you progress your grappling after that takedown. So, as a kickboxing fight, which to score it in the third round, it's only if the judges can't decide who was landing the most strikes.
That's when the pressure will
come into it.
Yeah,
so then, like John was throwing power shots, but Jack was throwing volume.
Yeah.
So that's when you got to look at which one you're going to score. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember John swinging a big shot. I don't know whether he missed or not. Or landed in the third, and then Jack went 1-2-3. And John didn't acknowledge him because he's John all day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He can take him, he didn't catch. But like, if you're in the crowd and you're just seeing John still coming forward, then obviously them 3 shots are for nothing. But I don't know. It's the new scoring criteria, which I don't think they've really. I think at that level they should have sat them all down on fight week at some point and explained exactly how it is. Yeah. Because people don't realise how different it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And
so that's the only questionable scoring thing about the fight and the third round.
But going off what you said there, for the my Pedro fight, I was on the back foot for the first round, right? He was throwing a lot of shots, I was throwing a lot of shots, okay? So when I got back the corner, I thought, hands down, I lost that round.
I watched that fight again.
I lost that round.
Yeah.
But the judges scored that first round towards me, and I was on the back foot for the majority of it.
Did you land more shots?
You were landing rights and uppercuts.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So obviously that's the way they've done the scoring system.
Yeah.
At the time I thought I'd lost it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know the old scoring system, basically, jabs wouldn't even score.
Yeah.
They'd have to be powerful shots with the heads moving back and all that.
Yeah.
So it takes like a lot of technical fight in a way.
If you want to pick a style now, back in the I was so if I as an amateur going to a pro as the transitions come through, this is how I reckon. If you wanted to do well in the old scoring system, stylistically your striking bit should have been more Muay Thai. With very forward pressure, heavier shot on the old scoring system. Now, so I think,
but Muay Thai,
but punching kicks, because there's the forward pressure as well. Do you know what I mean, like that type of style? You're coming back in. I think now, you know, the amateur boxing style of boxing where it's a lot more flicky. I think that type of like fast hands moving scores better now for the new scoring system. Yeah. If you want a striking base,
it's about not getting hit.
Yeah.
It's about hitting and not getting hit. So back to boxing scoring and kickboxing scoring, but no, not getting. Whereas I agree, Muay Thai, you score being weak by going backwards.
Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, the boxing then is missing. I tell you what, striking in MMA now has got its own style. You can't say one or the other. It's got its own style of striking.
Because you don't level change in boxing or kickboxing and Muay Thai as you would in a fight. Like a lot of
and a lot of knockers come from that. A lot of knockers do come from that level change.
The drop comes from
a lot of wrestlers will play that. Like Michael Chandler's one of them guys who uses that feint to throw overhand rights and stuff and gets a lot of success. Quack. Yeah, I did a lot of it with Quack. It's helped my flying knee. I think you're right though. You can't prepare for that in their martial arts. You know, if you were primarily just a Muay Thai fighter, a kickboxer, or a boxer, you cannot be ready for that.
Yeah.
No?
I never train like specific.
So anyway, what now for both guys? John is 3 losses in the UFC. Jack missed weight, but one is just beat John. I mean, what do you think will happen to him next? Like,
well, I think so. Before the fight, we thought, right,
loser goes.
Yeah. But when you look at the things that happened, Jack did miss weight.
Yeah.
If he would have lost, he'd be gone.
Think so?
Well, for missing weight.
Yeah.
Maybe. But even though the scoring might be a little bit different in UFC, they do like people coming forward.
Yeah, want to kind of bring the fight on,
Which John does.
Yeah.
So I think he's got another fight.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think like for UFC, you know,
I think they both have.
Go three fights losing, you're lucky to get another chance. Like
rematch.
No.
Look at Craig White though.
That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Took a short notice fight for Liverpool, fought Neil Magny, top 10, lost that. Fought Diego Sanchez next fight, lost that. Oh, you got to go, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
But there's something about John they like.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's got that.
There's something about Jack they like. Like they've both been in the papers this week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jack is leaving the army to his thing.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to love the press. Okay, what they say. I mean, they've got to love the press of that.
I never liked the fight from the start. I always said that. I didn't want to see the fight happen.
Not in there.
Not in there.
Not unless it's.
No, not in there. Because I think you know, at the end of the day, you know both guys very well. At the end of the day, and that's what the worst thing about it for me was I was looking from an MMA Wales point of view and thinking that potentially loser goes. Now instead of having 3 guys in the UFC, we've got 2 guys in the UFC. You know, and we're not helping the Welsh MMA scene. Then we're trying to bring an event to Wales because we're getting because the guys getting cut left, right, and centre. And that's what I felt like anyway. That was my opinion on the fight. I want to see it. Obviously, it happened. I was going to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of middleweights that are not in Wales. They didn't have to fight, but like it is what it is.
Anyway, we got Aidan James, star of Brave, on the show. Yeah. Tell us what you're up to, but slowly.
Nathan, get the beeper out.
I'm trying not to swear because we're trying to get this out really fast.
Yeah, no, I will swear. I'm just training. Do you know what I mean? Just prepping for a fight like I always am. No different.
So tell us who you're fighting and where.
I'm fighting Jalal Al-Dajar. I learned his name.
How's that again?
Jalal Al-Dajar or Dajar.
Now say the Brave president's name.
Don't give us
that. Go on.
No, because you'll see if he sees it.
No, you won't see it. You'll be
like,
right.
why is this? Why is
Brent
one
will send it to him.
I will send it to him, I promise.
Khalid bin Hamid Al Khalid. Oh,
Don't swear.
I keep trying. I'd have to do like a happy birthday message from before, and I was just like,
you practiced like hell
I could
for that.
not do it. Like,
yeah, you practiced.
And then they didn't even show it. All the other fighters got the happy birthday show. Yeah, so I'm fighting Jalal, and I'm fighting him in Jordan, so he's in his own country. He's from Oman as well. So like I've noticed, like I'm like a freak when it comes to studying, so I've found some real old fight of his like early amateur cage warrior fights and his other pro fights in Jordan. He sells a lot of tickets. Like he must be a star over there, I think, because he got like almost 20,000 followers, and a lot of guys come to watch him fight.
You've got Murtha following him, isn't it? So
I don't
10 or 20.
I don't have Murtha following me.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not Oban.
Tell him to pull a finger out then. Watch you.
It's alright.
Tune in.
Come on,
Murtha. I got Scott.
I'll watch you fight.
Yeah,
I'll watch you fight.
If football's on. So yeah, it's like I'm fighting Jalal, and he's so I'm expecting to get booed, but I don't mind. Like I like going to Lions Den, and I know he's training hard. He's training with Phuket top team, and he's been out there for a good few months now, training with like some good tough Russians, good tough. But then like it's a fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, see what happens when you go there. I just don't think he's fought anyone like me. I've watched who he's fought. I have a good study of it. I just don't think he's fought anyone like me.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see when we get in there now. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. He might catch me, like, I don't know. But I don't see. I just.
So what type of fighter is he? Obviously, you studied him.
He's
grappler, yeah.
No, he's a Thai boxer.
Yeah, but a lot of his fights go to grappler.
No, yeah, sort of. But like he tries to win through striking, and he's got a couple of cheeky wins through like a submission or two, which he didn't mean to didn't mean to get, but he ended up.
Didn't mean to get.
He was on his back. Do you know what I mean? He ended up like
kicking. It's like submitting someone.
This was lucky.
Yeah. He ended up on his back, like, but basically, so. Like he's had a lot of amateur boxing fights and a lot of taekwondo matches, because that's what he was doing back in Jordan. Like I don't know what the Jordanian amateur boxing scene is like, or the taekwondo scene, but he's still got experience from there, and he's a purple belt as well. But his main discipline is striking. Like he won't come out to be taking me down unless he's feeling pressured. And I think if his back's to the fence and he's feeling pressure, he'll shoot, because that's what that's what I've seen him do before. And he's quite strong. He's also got power. Like I've seen him drop a few boys with some like good hooks. He's got a bit more experience than me, like fight wise. But again,
big, tall.
No, he's 5'8". He's basically like Ben Miles, basically.
Oh, midget, yeah.
He's basically Ben Miles.
Basically no, Ben Miles and Nathan Morgan. Like so, like fundamental Thai boxing, good grappling.
Just practice beating
5'8". I can't because I don't train.
That's fair enough.
I've asked him like 20 times.
You know, this will be your third fight for Brave now. You fought twice for Brave already in different parts of the world, Pakistan and Ireland. Now you're fighting Jordan. Are you ever going to fight in Wales again?
I don't know. Like, I just couldn't think of
nobody comes to watch.
That's what he's promoting a few of my fights. I started off, I sold like 20, 30 tickets for my first fight with him. And I bet he's thinking, yes, this boy's going to bring in some title fights to him now. He's going to start
all of Merthyr come down.
Yeah, I finished the boy in 47 seconds, and my friends like,
awful boring, so they didn't come back.
Yeah, they were like, I'm not going to watch that again. So, and then I fought a few more times, but I've never been like a home ticket seller, this is why I benefit.
You never fought at home, that's right.
I have.
Yeah. You fought in Merthyr?
No.
Exactly.
No, I just.
Where do you prefer to fight it?
So you stop fighting
Cardiff or Pakistan away? Oh, Pakistan away.
I went to a few Merthyr Mayhems to watch, but like the thing for me is like I wouldn't like. I had a contract with Cage Warriors, so I could have fought home. Do you know what I mean? Like I had a contract with Cage Warriors, but I ended up getting a contract with Brave and going with them. But the Cage Warriors contract would never have benefited me the same way the Brave have, because I honestly,
they pay better.
Yeah, I don't sell the tickets, see, so like I would never make the ticket commission that other fighters can. Like I know, like I've heard of fighters who've made like real good money from Cage Warriors, especially through their ability to sell tickets. Like, and I think that's class. Like I think I'd love it if I could sell a few hundred tickets, a few thousand tickets. Yeah. Again, like Rory Evans, Brian Evans as well. Both of them too. They'll shift tables for fights.
Yeah,
genuinely like to sell 10. Like I'm not. If I don't go out there, I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
you did the right in your pro debut.
Yeah, that's because I got through from the gym, and my girlfriend's family can watch.
We're still people, isn't it?
So I said Ash Williams, a bit of a big name. Like
it wouldn't be right to have you on the show without mentioning your biggest fan. Always sneaking in the show, watching from behind the curtain somewhere. Your mother. He doesn't let his mother come.
No, she don't. I don't let her come watch.
But she just sneak in, and she's like, "Oh, Rick, don't tell Aidan,
Yeah, no, she don't even watch the fights live anymore. She just sits in the house with a cigarette by the door, just waiting me to I've done it a few times.
There was a picture.
Like, Mum, I lost, sorry. And she's like, it's alright, like, joking, I won. And she's like, you're an idiot. And she's like,
this is why you're not my favourite tonight, the DJ.
I'm pretty sure when I watch you fight in Pakistan, I could see her, like, in the crowd.
In the crowd somewhere.
The
keyhole.
A long way from Bertha.
Yeah. She's the only Welsh person in the entire auditorium apart from you and Chris, so she's easy to spot. Like.
Yes, Pakistan was a bit berserk. Like I've never.
Tell us about Pakistan.
It's just different. Like so, when we went there, basically,
you didn't enjoy it.
I did. I enjoyed I was in a nice hotel, but then like it was like what's funny like. You had these little brochures, picture of the hotel, and like all this background, but it's all computer generated. So when they show me the hotel, I was like, oh, this looks banging, look at this park, and I'm like, yeah. So I go there, and it's like it's in the middle of like some kind of construction site. There's like there's like the super M5, like just imagine the M5 at like 5:30 in the afternoon on a Friday. It's like that 20%. This go with donkeys and stuff, and just,
Did you drive a donkey?
No, I went in a tuk-tuk, which was actually an Uber, and I gave the guy money. I gave a 500 tip, like which the trip was 100, and he was
that's how Mali's really gets around
with a tuk-tuk. But this,
I'd love a tuk-tuk.
So I was in Pakistan, and like it was nuts. But basically, cause I was cutting weight, I had to eat salad, and Chris was eating curries non-stop. So he was eating just cooked chicken and cooked rice.
I'll come with you next time.
Well, I'm eating salad. So I get on the Wednesday. And I eat the salad. And Friday cut weight, and Saturday morning I woke up and I was like, I usually eat a lot on fight day. I'm not one of them fighters like don't eat. I eat a lot. I eat big foods. Like I know exactly what to eat and stuff. I started having real bad pain in my stomach, and I was trying to drink water, so I was like almost throwing up. I couldn't understand what was going on. I was like, Chris, I messed the weight cut up, and obviously I thought I cut too much weight. I did cut a decent amount, but nothing like didn't hurt me. I made them make sound. So we started like going to the day. He's like, I'm trying a little bit. I had a little bit of French toast. I'm trying to chew on it. And again, I'm feeling sick. And I'm like, basically, my stomach's getting worse. Couldn't touch anything. It started swelling. And then by the time the night came round, I was trying to warm up for this fight, and I started feeling myself throwing up in my stomach, and I couldn't. Literally, I was like, Chris, if I hit you in the stomach, I'm gonna get dropped. My stomach sort of just sat in the mobile with ice cubes. And I can hear Fran's like lumping these pads because we had like a tent. We were in like a massive canopy tent thing, and like there was like a little curtain between us. I can hear Fran smashing the pads, and I can hear.
They go ding ding ding.
He can box. He can box. Fran's good. He was Jay Quigley, Irish boxer, pro boxer. They were in a boxing tournament together. They fought each other back in the day. Yeah, he's good. So I could hear him smash his pads. I'm like, oh, I hope you don't punch in the stomach. I'm like, I got just sitting there with ice cube looking at this other Russian fighter who's doing like a full-on wrestling warm-up. There's got these other Pakistani boys like flying knees, elbows a lot, and I'm just sitting there with ice cubes. And Chris like, let's get a 1-2 on the go. I go, bump, bump. I'm like, ah. So I go back, almost up, and the next thing you know, first thing me and fans were on side kicks to stomach. I was like, I have to take him down now. But yeah, Pakistan was different. It was good though. It was a good experience. Like I seen a lot of stuff. Like most family I counted on one moped was 6.
On one moped?
I seen a dad with a daughter in front of him, 2 daughters behind him, a wife hanging off the edge. I swear to God, holding like a 1-year-old like a rugby ball. It's like
the best one I've seen in Thailand is dad in the front, 2 kids sleeping in the middle.
Sleeping?
Yeah, they're sleeping in the mopeds.
Sleeping in the middle. Mother holding on my left arm, rug on the shoulder with the right, and the dad's holding the rug as well.
That's class.
Yeah, so rug,
a unit.
Rug,
mum, 2 sleeping children,
and dad.
On a bed.
I get claustrophobic when someone sits in my 106 with me.
Oh no, he's on the left hand, he's driving right.
It's nuts. Like, but I did enjoy
actually Pakistan. One guy driving a thing, leaning forward, the other guy behind him with a wardrobe on his back.
Yeah,
honest to God, the one on the front's holding him.
The boys had trouble lifting this thing up the stairs. Should have got someone from Thailand to come in and do it.
So they put on a scooter.
So you keep winning on Brave now, and you get in the title picture. Would you like Brave to come and put on a show in maybe Merthyr Square Garden?
I actually thought myself right.
Nice.
I fight around. But if I was to,
nice reference. Nice.
It's the Hall of Welsh Boxing. It's MSG.
It is actually. It is.
Is a boxing Hall of Fame inside Merthyr Leisure Centre. One day it'll be just a picture of Aidan up there.
I own a statue I do in the town.
Yeah, there's free boxing statues in the town.
The past you, wasn't it? Look at Johnny Owen there. So it's you, it's Matchstick Man. Oh, it's the wrong one. He's in town. He is. It's Aidan James.
I have. If I won the title now with Brave, and if it was all good, I would bring it to Wales and I'd do a defence. But only the one thing I'd like to do, if I brought it back here, I get other fighters on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and like
they do.
I've realised how good the opportunities are with Brave. and I think there's some fighters who really benefit, like that maybe don't sell much tickets, who want to travel about and don't care about fighting at home. Like this would be a good place to go. But you gotta be just.
I'll be honest, from a personal point of view, I actually don't think that's very far away for Aidan, that title shot. You disagree. Yeah. I really don't think.
Because I know Franz was very much in line.
Franz fought for it.
Yeah,
but the night I made my debut, I was like the first fight of the night,
Roman.
And Franz was the main event.
And then you fought him in the next fight.
You still got good boys in that division, other than the champ.
If Jalal was a BMC, they give him
the top shot. Yeah,
because they said
you got Jeremy Patter too. Yeah, Jeremy Patter too.
Yeah,
he's a good fighter.
And I went to Brave in Bahrain with Jorgen, who sat together, and absolutely insane.
Crazy. That's why I want to fight in the Bahrain show. Like really bad.
That's isn't that like an international fight week thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They love it though, don't they?
Oh my god.
But they did the same they just did Philippines, right? And they had all these Filipino warrior thing come out. They did massive dance. They put a lot of production.
It was on ESPN.
Did you do the Bahrain show where they had Lena Hart?
Lena Hart. I left before she came on.
Yeah, they had the Pride woman, and she called them all out. The champ. The champ of my division fought then as well. He's actually good. Yeah, like, he's actually legit. Like, he's a tough fight. Like I think like obviously like I think everyone's a tough fight. I always like look at people thinking they can beat me. Like I always have. But I genuinely look at Lawman and think he's tough. The same as do with Jalal though. Just think they're both tough fights.
So when is this? Tell everyone.
4 weeks today.
4 weeks today.
Well, what day is today?
April 19th.
What date
April
is
19th.
April 19th.
I think everyone works with me.
How can I watch it?
For you guys on Brave TV, I think it's like $9.99. $9.99 Brave TV.
One-off payment.
I'll be in a full moon party in Thailand. So
is that what you think it is?
That's that day, April 19th was the full moon.
Is it?
Yeah. It's full
No,
moon.
is that when
you'll be watching it?
Yeah, I'm out there. Huh?
Look, pina colada in one hand and a mobile phone in the other.
No, a bucket of whiskey.
Before we go, you got any shout outs? Any sponsors you'd like to thank?
I like to thank Feel Supreme. They sponsor me like CBD and some other type of like nutritional supplements. I use like I got the CBD drops, the Himalayan Shilajit, I think that's how you say it. That's not a swear word. And I use like the cordyceps mushrooms. These type of I think I feel better performing and training off like these type of supplements. I'm not too bothered about like
thanks for coming on, guys, and good luck in your fight. And we'll.
I don't think that's better thing.
No, I'm right. I'm just here for the. I'm part of the.
My keeper.
I'm part of the.
He's part of the furniture, man.
Yeah, part of the furniture. So.
Just make you look
any sponsors, Brett?
Just thanking myself. There you go. That's done.
Thanks to Brett.
Thank you, guys. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 29 of the MMA Wales podcast. Now, for the first time ever, we have non-Welsh people on the podcast, so bear with us.
Is it?
I think so, yeah. Have we ever had anyone that's non-Welsh on the podcast?
Surely someone English or something.
Nah. Sweden over England anytime.
Yeah, I know that, but
you know what I feel about
they're not
English
Welsh, are they, if they're from England?
So anyway, we got Team Sweden national coach and head coach of Västerås Fight Club, Jorgen Hamberg. Welcome.
Nice to be here.
And we have one of his star lightweight fighters, Johan Andersson, who will be fighting James Lilly tomorrow night on Adrenaline Fight Night. It could be tonight, depends what time you're watching it. Hopefully we'll get this out really, really fast.
Please, Nathan.
Otherwise, this is going to be pointless, this next half hour. So do what you're told, Nathan. Right, anyway, so welcome to Wales, guys.
Thank you.
Of course, Jorgen, you've been here plenty of times before.
Yeah, 4 times in 1 year.
4 times in
my second home, yeah. Almost Welsh.
He's playing for his Welsh citizenship now, and he's gonna play prop for the Welsh team, the Welsh rugby team. So yeah, you've been over here. This is your 4th time. You've come over here a few times before with fighters fighting on Adrenaline Fight Night for titles.
I think Tobias was the most active fighter on Adrenaline in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I think he's the most active fighter to fight in Wales
in
the last 12 months.
He should have had an award on the MMA Wales Awards for being the most active fighter, even though he wasn't Welsh.
I was thinking that it would have been good to have like a foreign fighter award on the show.
You'd have had one.
Because you would have won it. Especially he comes down and the highlights he brought with him as well.
Yeah, I think he's done almost 40 fights in 4 years.
Wow.
So he's done in average 10 fights a year, from amateur to pro then.
So basically he had his first fight 4 years ago.
2015. 2015 he has his first amateur fight.
That's the last time I fought.
For those wondering, we're talking about Jorgen's one of his top students and son-in-law, Tobias Harila, who is he's a great fighter. As an amateur, he was the African Open gold medalist, the Asian Open gold medalist, and he's done well in the Europeans and the Worlds.
Silver in World Europeans, I think.
Yeah, and as a pro now, he's 4-1, and he's
5-1.
5-1 now. 5-1. Most all his wins by KO.
First round. All
knockout.
5. Yes.
I mean, if you've seen him on the last couple of adrenalines, the guy's got fireworks in.
Doesn't get paid by the round.
Both hands now. And we just come from a Thai restaurant now, and we're just saying if he was here with us,
it wouldn't have been enough food for him.
It wouldn't have been enough food for him. He would have had to have seconds, thirds, fourths, fifth. And we got Johan here who just ate half a plate. So Johan, it's your first time in Wales.
Yes.
What do you make of it?
You haven't seen much yet.
I haven't seen so much because we came in the night, so. But
under the cloud of darkness.
Yeah.
So you're fighting James Lilly tomorrow night on Adrenaline. Tell us what you know about James.
Oh, I don't know much about James. I know he's a good boxer, a bare knuckle boxer, and it's gonna be a great fight. I think.
I think so.
I like standing fights, so.
Yeah. Jorgen knows a lot about James.
I think it's a good matchup when I heard it, because Johan has he's a stand-up fighter, of course, and he likes to go forward. James Lilly goes forward. So two guys who wants to knock people out and go forward with strikes. It's gonna be good. Because it's I have problems. It's gonna be 3 rounds in either way. Both guys has good hands and everything, so someone has to fall, and it's going to be a good show, I think.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think we were talking about styles of fighters earlier, and now you have wrestlers.
Yeah.
But your guys tend to want to punch face.
That's our game. We like to punch people.
Yeah, it's the same as my gym. Punch and kick.
Tobias was for a nice story. He was the first one who got beaten. He came to my gym, and I took him to sparring with beginners, and he was popping them like hell. And I thought, what the fuck is happening here? The new guy, he was fat then. He was 87 kilos.
Was he?
And I thought, what the fuck is happening? He's punching the guys. So I said, you have to go to Johan. You have to have and he put a kick in Johan's head, and then Johan slaughtered him. and the only thing Tobias could say was, I'm going to beat you in 3 months. In 3 months, you'll be mine. It took a bit longer.
But for now, the buffet.
It took a few years to match up, but he's definitely there now. So
that's what's good about having a gym full of fighters. Is you've always got a target.
Yeah.
You say, right, I'm going to catch that guy, then I'm going to catch that guy.
But some guys, when they get beat, they don't think, oh, that's my next target.
Yeah.
They go home and they don't come back.
Yeah.
But
what's the point? I can't beat them. You're not trying to beat them. You're trying to get as good as them.
Yeah. You have a goal.
Yeah, we're not losing and winning in the gym.
No,
and that's the problem. People are trying
it's
to.
It's only different goals you have to measure up to.
So tell us your record coming into this, and your amateur record as well. And
my amateur record, I don't know. I think I have gone maybe 30, 40 fights, something like that.
From class B we have in Sweden, we don't have no punching on the ground. So I think you had probably 15 B fights, and Johan could only do one lock. It was a guillotine.
Yeah.
So I think he put maybe 10 people to sleep with a guillotine, because he only could do one lock.
Because it's so tall.
Yeah.
Well,
and everyone was diving here, and his skinny arms was like, and then we got to the amateur ranks, and in Sweden it was allowed to knee on the head.
Yeah.
And Johan
you can sometimes up in North England, up the north of the rules.
But after Johan need 5 people, knocked 5 people out with head, knee to the head, and then they changed the rules. So now it's not allowed any longer.
Everyone in the amateur game is mad at me. They always say, "Oh, it's Johan's fault. They took knee away."
But like, a knee to the head isn't. It's not allowed in many amateur sports.
No.
It's a very much professional. It's like it's very dangerous.
But Johan's problem has always been in stand-up he can measure up with mostly guys, but. He's too lazy. He don't like the grappling part.
No.
So always when we get beaten by a BE guy or a grappler, he wants to say, "Oh, now I'm gonna go back to grappling. I'm gonna grapple like hell." And after two sessions, grappling.
So that's what you find. I mean, MMA. Most people who do MMA started like a striking or a grappling at first, and when they have time off or whatever, they always favour the strength.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem sometimes. It's like, you've got to work on the grappling, or the grapplers have got to work on the striking, right? But you always go back to your favour because it's what you enjoy.
But it's your philosophy on coaching is different from other people, the way you think about coaching. Whereas a lot of gyms, they're mainly a grappling or striking. You're the only gym every time you spar, it's always MMA. Is that correct?
Yeah, we only do MMA. We never do like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got a blue belt, but I found out that this is going to take too much time from MMA. If I'm going to do 3,000 hours BE, I might use 1,000 of these. 1/3 will be able to use in MMA. So I will spoil 2,000 hours. I can use better for getting better in MMA. Yeah. So we never do any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
But as I say, you do within MMA. You're still doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques, so you're not disclaiming it.
No, we grappling. We grapple and
with strikes.
With strikes, always with strikes.
Yeah. That's a great philosophy way you're thinking about it, because as you said, like a lot of gyms, they favour certain things, or they do everything separately. They do striking, they do grappling, but you were all in every time, and obviously it's had a positive result internationally. Sweden are still the top ranked MMA amateur team in the world, and it, as well, you have in the Swedish national championships, your gym had the most competing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We got to be the top Swedish club by result of the national championships, and we got the most people in the national team as well. Because we only focus on damage. That's the main issue in modern MMA. Deal damage, you get points for it. The controlling part and the tactical part is not the most important thing, I think.
Not anymore. It's not the actual damage, it's the trying to inflict.
Exactly.
It's like, you could punch someone in the face and they get a black eye. You could punch another guy in the face 10 times and you don't get a mark. But you're trying to inflict that. So that's the point of it. I mean, the new ruling is it's not damage, it's that you're trying to damage someone.
Try to deal damage. But then we have met the threat from the east. It's like the Russians came into IMF and they were great wrestlers, but they were bad at dealing damage. They was taking people down, controlling them with a lot of pressure and strength, and you can't do it for 9 minutes, and you're losing the fight because you have a Russian guy on top of you. They haven't really learned to deal damage yet, but when they do, it's going to be the new era in MMA. So what you have to do to match up is more physics. You have to do much more wrestling to out-wrestle the wrestlers. And then you have to work on being even better for damage. Yeah. Because when you can stop the wrestlers with wrestling skills and still deal damage. And you have to have physics to always scramble and take you up if they take you down. So we have added a lot of wrestling, Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling to the game and trying to... But it's going to take some years before we are there.
Yeah. I mean... you've got a couple of wrestlers in your camp now, which will come along, and as I say, it's funny because you say, yeah, they're good wrestlers, they need to learn how to punch now.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what we used to.
Exactly. But it's much easier because a wrestler, like when you do the ground and pound, you have to build height to be able to do real damage. You see a lot of jiu-jitsu and wrestler guys, they are cross-facing and then do these lady punches, and it's no one's going to get knocked out. No. Maybe pissed off by these small slaps. So you have to make height to deal real damage. Yeah. But when you go to pro and you're a wrestler and you're allowed to use elbows, you don't need to. You can still be with a great pressure and slice people up with elbows. So it's a new game and it's a new strategy, and it's going to be hard to work for because
it's a completely different range of game with the elbows. Yeah. I'd say the knees as well. Like you can't elbow to the body anymore that much, can you?
It doesn't. It's not. No, we don't have elbows to the body.
We used to have elbows to the body, but and to the legs. I mean, at least it's when you're in close, it's something you can do. I think just to get used to it, because like the Muay Thai rules now, for example, there's Muay Thai rules where they wear elbow pads.
Yep.
And they throw in the elbows with pads and stuff. It's much more realistic because taking them going from like not elbowing in the face and then elbowing in the face, that's a game changer for you.
Yeah, I mean? yeah, totally.
And then people say, what's the difference between amateur rules and pro rules? Knees to face, elbows to face, longer rounds, neck cranks and heel hooks.
Small gloves.
It's not much.
No.
It is.
All you mentioned is game changers.
Because massive game changers.
It stops fights.
Yeah, exactly. And people say, it's not much. It is a lot. It is a lot. But, yeah.
So you, obviously, we've spoken about Tobias, and then you got one of your other star pupils. Well, you got a lot of star pupils.
Pretty boy.
The Adrenaline Fight Night Amateur Welterweight Champion, Robin Roos, who's got more fans in Wales, all female,
than Brett Johns.
They got more fans in Wales than Brett.
And definitely Aidan.
Every time I have a picture of Robin, I have 100 girls messaging me going, "Who's that?" That's my twin brother.
I'm a fan of his dad.
His dad is.
I want to be like Kent Roos and Ramona.
They're good guys. Yes.
I want
Kent's a cool guy, man.
Since he came over, I follow him on Facebook. And his life's great.
And one of your biggest stars, one of the scariest men I've ever seen in person, Gustafsson, Andreas Gustafsson, not Alexander like you put on your poster.
You see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw you took the wrong name. And Andreas.
You need to shift some tickets.
Why not?
But he's just come off a massive win on Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
He's
shoulder lock.
2-0.
Yeah.
That went viral, that finish. It was a V-lock, they call it. But Andreas wants to call it the Bane lock.
The Bane lock, yeah, because it's like, I don't know what it's called in English, because it's you throw people usually with the head.
Scaffold.
Yeah. And then you have this wrestling position. And if you are a BE practitioner, you give away your back.
Yeah.
You want to have a wizard and lock his shoulder. You don't want to be on there because they're going to go up on your back. But he's so fucking strong, so your head is going to pop if you try.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And people see that they feel that they have the option to go there, so they forgot the other arm.
Because Andreas, he made his debut on your show, Fight Club Rush 4, and he fought Oli Magna, who beat Stu Tyree on Adrenaline. And Oli's had about 12 pro fights.
He's funny.
He's a fighter. He's a tough guy.
But Andreas, he's just so strong. Just ragged him about like he was nothing. And there's not many stronger people.
Andre, he looks big. I haven't met him because he was ill when he was supposed to come and fight.
Yeah, exactly. He got a concussion when he was supposed to fight Shane.
It was was it? I can't remember.
It was Tobias.
No. Yeah. Sorry.
Tobias on training. And Roos.
There was but as you say, he's fighting in middleweight.
Yeah.
Is he staying in middleweight?
I don't know. He's going to be a pretty small middleweight guy, so he has no problem, I think, to go down to welterweight. But we don't have to do it now. We can do it spare it for the bigger shows. Yeah. But we have one fight in Cage Warriors, and hopefully we're going to get some more. Because, like you say, he's feeling. He leaves an impression.
Yeah, I think he pretty much left a big impression on the show. I mean, his finish went viral. People were sharing the Bane lock all around the internet, and I was like, oh, I know Andreas, he's my friend.
Yeah, but as I say, he's got a unique image as well.
Yeah, of course.
He's scary.
That helps. Yeah, no, he looks like a lunatic.
Yeah, but he's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah,
but his looks is like But when I go behind him, when we walk to the cage, and I see the audience, he's like. So you can study them, and you just see their cheeks are open, and they are thinking, what the f*** is that? What is going to happen?
What music does he walk out to?
He usually walks out to do some Viking music.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I can imagine what was Fedor's music. It's like war music for Vikings. I can imagine.
And he
set the mood to the dark, to the lights off.
So we spoke about your pro fighters. Obviously, you have a very big stable of amateurs as well. I mean, tell us who you've got coming through.
Oh, we got a lot. We have the youngsters junior Mille Eriksson, who was in the words meeting an English girl. She's only 18, so she has to develop a lot. Then we have the guys who met each other, Daniel and Alexander.
Yeah, they both from the same gym, and they both drew against each other in the Swedish national championships.
Just get it on.
You think some people, they might have touch gloves, at a grapple. No, they try to kill each other.
Yeah, that's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Great. Because the winner will have to keep reminding the loser.
Yeah.
Every day in the gym.
And it makes me proud because the mindset is fighting, and it's a sport. So you should meet your friends if it's a national championships, and both want to win. And no one wanted to stand down. And we have said, okay.
Because in our country, they don't understand that because we haven't had a national championships yet. Here's something. They're like, oh yeah, but there's plenty of other guys we can fight. I'm like, but yeah, but
fight each other
and find out who's the best. We recently had Scott versus Ben, wasn't it?
Yeah, Scott Pedersen versus Ben Ellis.
Well, there's one other guy in the frame for best in Wales. Danny
Williams.
Yeah. They fought each other. They pretty much had to because there was no one else left. But it could have happened fights before. Do you know what I mean? In the World Championships, and he just irons out who's best, and
eventually
it gives you a target.
Eventually, we want to get a yearly annual Welsh Championships and that, but we got to keep building up and build up through the age group so it becomes an annual thing in the calendar. So you just do like in Sweden, everyone knows when it is. Everybody. There's no question, are we not going to be able to make weight that close to Christmas? They just do it.
Just
do it like.
As a fighter, you have to. I see a lot of fighters. They are getting really fat between fights, and they have to rest. Oh, I'm going to have a chill period. How will you develop that? If you're going to go there 3 months getting fat and be with your girlfriend, it's not your work. You go back, you're in training at Monday, and then you start developing to be better on your next fight.
Exactly.
And you should always be in shape so you can fight in 3 weeks.
In December, when we had the show in Manor Park, I said to Jorgen, I said, January 27th, I said, that's close after Christmas. What do the fighters feel about how do you get the fighters to fight? He goes, Christmas is for children.
No, it's true. Christmas,
I was like yeah,
like Gavin Rees, world champion boxer from Wales. He fought in February, and they interviewed him, and he said, Christmas is for kids. I'm a fighter.
It's like in our country they like to drink at Christmas. That's the problem. but
and one guy you haven't mentioned yet, my new favourite Swedish fighter, Awat Kozadi.
Yep.
What a dude.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone knows, he's a. Was he from originally Kurdistan?
Yeah, he's from Kurdistan.
And well, I don't speak Swedish, and I went out to MC the national championships. So the presenter came into the cage, interviewed Awat in Swedish. He answered back in Swedish, and I understood every single word because he spoke in the international language of swearing. And the whole crowd just got up on their feet, started clapping. Everybody knew what he was saying, and I thought, this guy's got something special.
You could have interviewed him.
Yeah, I could have interviewed him. He managed to whip the crowd out. His performance was great, and then to get out and saying that, I can't talk about without mentioning another one of your smaller guys, Zoran.
Yeah, Zoran Milic.
I like him.
Zoran's a legend.
I haven't met. I've seen him. I've watched a couple of the fights, and I think he's great. And I want him to fight my lad Caleb. The reason I want him to fight Caleb, and my guy Caleb, what he'll do, he's a K1 fighter, but he's done a little bit of MMA now. But he's a lazy, but I always torture him. But what he just does enough.
Yeah,
he fights to the other guy's pace.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever pace they fight to, say now the guy's land 4 shots, I land 6. If that guy lands 1, I land 2. But then Christian in our gym flies into Caleb, and Caleb's got to go.
Yeah.
And that is what Zoran will do.
Exactly.
So I just think it'll be the making of them, because he just got woof, woof.
Zoran don't know strategy, or he has to go with his heart, everything.
Yes. With Caleb, he's just lazy.
Yeah.
In the final, he beat Sebastian Gonzalez.
Yes.
And the emotion that he showed when he beat Sebastian, and again, he got interviewed, and I didn't understand a word, but you could see how happy he was and how pleased he was, and the guy's just a happy-go-lucky guy. I mean, he's good to see him.
I've heard some funny stories.
Yeah, he's really easy to work with. He do what you tell him. He got beaten. Sebastian is a really good MMA fighter, and he's got good grappling skills. So he was taking Zoran down all the time. So Zoran spent too much time on his back to win the first 2 rounds. So I told him in the pause for the third that the only way you can win now is to knock him out. Yes, coach, I will do that. But, okay. Are we ready to talking? Yes, I will do that. And then he went out and did it. So
I told you, coach.
No, but he's a lovely guy.
Yeah, they're all good bunch. I mean, obviously when I went out there, it was strange because when I went out to Sweden, right, say I walk into Adrenaline tomorrow night now, I'll go in and everyone will know me and everyone will come over and say hello. I went to Sweden, Jorgen's dad, Bo Goran, picked me up. Legend of a man.
I bet.
Really nice guy. Really nice guy. But I walked into the arena and I knew everybody. It was strange.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
IMAX,
not just IMAX, but like...
You're the biggest team there.
Yeah,
they turn up to the IMAX and everyone's Swedish. It's blue and yellow for days.
I just couldn't get over like how many people I knew. I was like, oh, hi, good to see you. And then Andreas Knutson came over, you know, and then like
monster.
And then my favourite came over and said hello, Madeline, if you're watching. And yeah, it was great. It was a great show, and obviously you promote your own show now, Fight Club Rush. Yeah. You've done 4 events. You got the 5th one.
We're gonna do the 5th one in the end of August, I think.
End of August, cool.
So it's gonna be a big one. No, 3 to 4 is what we want to do.
Yeah.
It was a really good event. I mean, it sold out and it was busy and it was packed. And the fight started about 2ish in the day, and went all did the amateur finals and then the pro card.
And then pro card, we was finished around 9 or so I think. Okay. So it was a long. It was the finals for the national championships was the undercard. Sort of. So it was a good undercard, the best amateurs in Sweden anyway. Yeah. And then we did a pro card with 6 pro fights.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a great show. So anyway, tomorrow night you will be fighting James Lilly. We've already spoke about it, but have you got a special game plan coming in?
Like we always say,
coaches, by the way. Don't give too much away.
Like we always say in Västerås, we like to knock people out.
Do you know what? I got a feeling it's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah. As a coach, some guys they want a game plan, Otherwise, they don't have something to focus on. But I've tried it with Johan. He's been around me for so long time. So when I give him a game plan, he got stuck. He got like okay, I was supposed to do this and this and this. And if the other one does something else, then it's going to be disrupted. So now our only game plan now is
kill.
Get in there and fight. Do what you want. Have fun. Go out. It's like that. So we win and we lose and we have fun. So
because you've had 40 amateur fights, a couple of pro fights. James has had 100 fights all over
this
different
will be number 100 tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be his 100 fights. So you've had
boxing, bare knuckle, MMA.
Yeah, amateur boxing, pro boxing, bare knuckle, unlicensed boxing, MMA. He's done it all. So it's two really experienced guys going at it tomorrow who want to knock each other out. So if that doesn't make you want to come and buy a ticket tomorrow, I don't know what will. Anyway.
So we have got to wrap it up because we've got a minute.
So you got anyone to thank before we go, guys?
Oh, I want to thank my family, of course, and my coach.
Yeah.
And everyone at the club, and also my sponsors.